How's it going? This is Brian over at CalHomeCo Construction, here to talk to you a little bit about how to choose a designer or architect. Want to work through this as quickly as possible. You're more than welcome to take a screenshot or write down the questions in the next slide. This is how we are going to determine whether or not a designer or an architect is a good fit for your project based on what you're looking to build. So 5 questions that I think are very important when you're interviewing or having that first contact with a potential architect or design firm. Number 1 is going to be, what's your design philosophy? Don't have to phrase the question that way, but you want to make sure that their goals are in line with yours. You know, are they designing for functionality, aesthetics, sustainability, or cost effectiveness? Whether it's an investment property, which cost effectiveness might be the most applicable thing to your design, or if it's for friends and family or personal use, functionality and aesthetics to match the existing home. You want it to feel like it's your space. Those are very important as well. Number 2, can you provide examples of similar projects that you've completed? So definitely take a look at their reviews online, look at their portfolios, make sure that they're doing projects that are similar to the ones you're looking to build. That's going to give you a good understanding at their comprehension and their capability of designing what you're looking to build. Always make sure that you're kind of going through that process. Number 3, how do you approach a collaborative approach with your clients? This is very important. You're going to sit down in multiple design meetings with this design firm or this architect. You're going to talk about what's important to you. They're ultimately going to design based on your needs and wants. These are things that are going to be absolutely key to, 1, making sure that we're building this in a location that makes sense on your property. 2, that we have access for. We can talk about electrical and plumbing implications. And having all of that in mind is ultimately going to speed up the process of the build, speed up the process of the permitting, and allow us to accomplish our goals budgetary-wise. 4, what is your fee structure and what does it include? You will find some architects or design firms that say, I can design this for $5,000, $6,000, $7,500. What they don't tell you is that they're not including structural engineering or Title 24 requirements. Title 24, for those of you that don't know, is a California state regulation saying, and that has to get signed off by the architect, that we are building eco-friendly and cost-effective, making sure that we're putting in insulation, fire ratings, everything that is required to California code, city code, everything in that wheelhouse. So we want to make sure that your design firm or your architect has a clear understanding of the codes, what's required for that. They're going to apply for it. They're going to handle all of that for you. Otherwise, that falls on your plate. Also, structural engineering, right? So you can get into structural architectural design, but structural engineering is also required to submit for permits. So we have to have all of that incorporated before we can get approved, before we can go into city comments and review. So make sure that you are talking to your architects and asking if they have structural engineers in-house or if they're going to bring that to the table, and they're going to provide all of that for you. Otherwise, again, that falls on your plate. And it's a headache you don't want to deal with, because the city's going to ask questions, the county's going to ask questions that you may not have the answers for. You really want to leave this in the hands of the experts. Make sure that they're kind of all-in-one, one-stop shop. They can take you from start to finish, from concept to approved and stamped plans, so we're ready to build. And then the 5th would be, how do you ensure compliance with local code and jurisdiction and regulations? Right, you want to make sure you're working with someone who understands exactly where you're building. San Diego is broken up into a ton of different neighborhoods, zip codes, county, city. All of them have different requirements for building ADUs or homes or multifamily structures. So you want to make sure that you're working with someone who has a clear understanding of what it's going to take to accomplish your vision and your goals on your property, so that we are able to expedite the process of permitting and start building your project right away. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us directly. You can email us at contact@calhomeco.com or give us a call at 858-633-7812. Again, that's 858-633-7812. More than happy to have a conversation with you and point you in the right directions. We have a lot of trusted design firms and architects that we work with here in San Diego, and we'd be happy to get you in touch with them. Thank you.